Secundae Secundae 51 deals with what St. Thomas calls the potential parts of prudence. That seemed to be fairly important because in the Prima Secundae, question 57, article 6, he has already mentioned them. Potential parts is like saying intellect and will and emotions are parts of the soul. It means they are ways in which human life, our life form, unfolds, deploys itself. So in what ways does prudence deploy itself? Except that I think it might be better to call these potential parts of prudence supporting strengths of mind that reinforce and assist basic prudence which commands what should be done here and now. And that emerges from the way in which St. Thomas presents this question 51. One thing we need is the ability to take counsel, consilium in Latin. We need to take counsel well. And consilium is discussed in Prima Secundae 14 in the individual case. In the private individual's decision-making, perhaps consilium is best translated as deliberation. But we need to take counsel well if we are to be truly prudent, and certainly for the ruler, good advisers are needed. But perhaps in every kind of prudence, we need good advice from others. It's a life skill that we have to learn. So taking advice, knowing how to take it and how to receive it, is very important. One of the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit is counsel, good advice, and that gets discussed as part of this treatise on prudence. That is to say, we need to take advice from the Holy Spirit, and in that we imitate Jesus, in whom the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit were present in abundance to overflow to us. And we notice, especially in St. Luke's Gospel, that before certain key decisions, Jesus spends all night in prayer. He is, in his humanity, indwelt by the Holy Spirit, and yet he needs to pray that the Spirit may guide him in the particular decisions in his ministry that are important. Clearly, we need to take advice in prayer from the Holy Spirit, that he may guide us in our thinking and feeling, subtly, tactfully, gently, but also powerfully, to follow our vocation. After taking good advice and after prudent thought, there is still a risk that we might not be robust enough to make a sound judgment. In the case of a legislator, perhaps, what precise phraseology to adopt for a law we think needs to be enacted. And so we need 2 further capacities to make sound judgments. One is called sunesis, the ability to judge what's going to fit the normal run of cases that we are dealing with in whatever kind of prudence we are exercising, personal, domestic, or whatever. But then there are going to be exceptional cases, unusual situations making particular demands on us. And then we need the skill called gnome. And I guess that it is by that skill that we can tell what epiikeia, equity, demands. There's some unusual situation, not envisaged by some detailed law, requiring unusual action. And by this good moral sense of gnome, we can tell how to exercise equity, that higher kind of justice, and achieve the purpose of the law by disobeying its letter. Rushing someone to hospital in an emergency, driving down a street where there is no one around, the right thing to do is to break the speed limit and go faster, because the speed limit is designed to protect life, and here we protect life by breaking the speed limit. So prudence in all its forms is a strength of mind, enabling us to see here and now what must be done. And we can see that if prudence is well developed, it will look a little bit like what Aristotle thinks of as a kind of superhuman virtue, the kind of skill of some great legislator or founder of a city who has given the city what it needs, would look almost superhuman. We might ask to what extent anything like that is in fact due to the grace of God.